Do you think we will need a full hour? I am very busy today.
Well, this is probably the single most important marketing decision you will make in launching this drug. How much time do you have?
20 minutes.
That's not very long.
Well, now I only have 19 minutes. Can we begin?
Certainly. Let's start by reviewing your single-minded value proposition, the one most important thing we need to communicate in our advertising.
Certainly. Saculizumab is a novel, breakthrough therapy that revolutionizes the care continuum by providing fast-acting, long-lasting efficacy, safety, and tolerability for a broad range of patients, so that they can live life to its fullest, and so that physicians can feel confident that they are providing the highest, most advanced standard of care possible.
That seems longer than the last time we talked.
Yes. I optimized it.
I see. Which part of that statement is the most important for us to communicate in our advertisements?
All of it.
So, novel, breakthrough, revolutionary, fast, long-lasting, safe, effective, tolerable, broad range of patients, quality of life, confidence, and highest standard of care?
Yes. And advanced.
I see. You may find that in trying to say so many things at once, you instead end up saying nothing very well.
I don't care.
I see. Well, should we look at some concepts?
Do any of them have dolphins?
No. No, they don't.
I think our ad should have dolphins. My daughter likes dolphins.
That's great. I don't think we have to say anything more. And I have seen that brief before. I guess we can all be relieved that the pharma industry has evolved, at least to the extent that the patient makes it onto the agenda of conferences, even conferences where patients aren't in the title. But there's still lots of room for the patient and pharma to get to know each other better, especially in Canada. Today we're going to hear from a professor at the Ivy School of Business, Dante Peruz, about why patients don't always behave the way that we want them to. In pharma, we spend so much on that pivotal trial. There's such a wait before we could talk about it. Now we just want all the patients to take their meds indefinitely, 3 times 7 days a week, and call it a compliance problem when they don't. But patients, they're an independent bunch. They want support from companies, they want dialogue, and yet on health issues particularly, they're very protective of their privacy. In Canada, for so long, we've been focused on the barriers that Health Canada imposes on our ability to communicate to consumers. And the model has traditionally been the product advertised on network TV or another mass media. But the more specialized products that we're marketing to 169 people, they're increasingly involved. They need to be targeted to specific groups. What Professor Peruz calls big data increasingly allows advertisers and their agencies like mine to serve up online ads cost effectively to narrowly targeted groups. When I'm on the web, I regularly get served up little ads about irritable bowel syndrome sent to me by a US pharma company, likely because people who work in jobs like mine do research that causes their cookies to register that I visited on pharma websites. The first time we see ads like this, we kind of wonder, how did they know I was interested in that? And what some people might call ads effectively targeted at consumers' interest or need, others might call intrusive. So the opportunities like that creates lots of room for marketers to sit down in our companies with the lawyers to develop an approach that balances the risks and the opportunity. That's creative tension inside our companies. We really can't lose sight of the fact that patients can react very passionately about the products we market, because healthcare is a personal matter, which affects our quality of life. Now, our first speaker, Barry Stein, is president of the Colorectal Cancer Association of Canada. I first became aware of Mr. Stein's association when I was exposed to those ads encouraging preventative screening. You might have remembered them. They were great ads. They grabbed us by the cheeks. And that was an appropriate strategy, as that cancer has, as you may know, among the best chances of recovery as long as it's diagnosed and treated early and aggressively. Now, I don't know how far Mr. Stein is planning to take us this morning, but I understand he quite possibly wouldn't be with us today if he hadn't have been determined, let's call it determination, to ensure that treatment was made available promptly to him when he was diagnosed in the 1990s. Because access to health care, whether we're talking about screening or drugs or surgical procedures, can be life or death. So both talks remind us of the importance of understanding the patients in our particular categories and really listening to them. You know, looking at other industries, I'm amazed at how enthusiastic some consumers can be about the companies that produce the consumer brands they buy. Consumers like those companies on Facebook. They write nice reviews. They recommend the companies to their friends. And sometimes those products, they're just gadgets. They're just fashion. They don't save anybody's lives. But as for pharma companies, I don't see that love returned in very many cases. So there's still lots of room for pharma and Canadian patients to get to know each other better. So first, our first speaker, Barry Stein, lawyer and president of the Colorectal Cancer Association of Canada, and then Dante Peruz of the Ivy School of Business via Wharton School of Business in the University of California, Irvine. Thanks. Barry?